Inaugural Flight of Fancy, a 17-11 victory over the first-place New Jersey Saints, the legendary John Grant. And the French connection of Paul and Michael French led the way, Mike French scoring a hat trick and dishing 5 assists. Tonight, the Wings return to Philadelphia to ride the Washington wave. Prism Sports presents Eagle League Professional Box Lacrosse. Brought to you by Gold Medal Sporting Goods, the official retail outlet of the Philadelphia Wings. Now from the Spectrum, the Philadelphia Wings and the Washington Wave. Good evening, everybody. Larry Rosen with the head coach, University of Pennsylvania lacrosse team, Tony Seaman. Tonight, we bring you what amounts to a battle for second place between Philadelphia and Washington. The New Jersey Saints have already clinched at least a tie for first place with their 4th victory. But, Tony, the Wings, the only team to have beaten the Saints. What did we learn about the Wings from that victory?
Well, it certainly was a great victory for the Wings. Puts us back in the race. And I think that the big thing was that we played defense. We did not give Jersey the in-close shots. We made them shoot from the perimeter. And Kevin Bilger handled those shots. I also believe that we got a lot of rebound goals. We did an excellent job on our power plays with John Grant in the middle, and we're very successful there. So they were certainly the keys, and we helped to carry that over tonight.
When you talk defense, you have to talk about the captain, the guy they call Tuck, number 2, John Tucker. Very gutty performance against New Jersey.
Yeah, I think Tuck has become the enforcer for this team. We talked about that a little last week during the game. We saw several times where one of the Saints player, Kevin Cook, was doing a job on Paul French and his elbow and his back and his neck, and Tucker came over and took care of him into the boards. Once again, a little later on, the Goldberg boy from the Saints was taken care of by Tucker. I asked Ciccarone tonight in the locker room, is Tucker the enforcer? And he says, boy, he's awful nice to have around.
Now, of course, Washington missing their leading scorer, Brad Kotz, and a couple of other injuries we'll tell you about later on. But they do bring an intangible substance to the game based on the coach and the knowledge of his players.
That's for sure. Clayton Buddy Beardmore, 11 years the head coach at the University of Maryland. He had 2 national championships in the 1970s. He was the runner-up 4 different times. So he certainly has a great deal of knowledge on the whole game of lacrosse. He was the box general manager back in 75, 76 for the old box league, and now he is the head coach for the Washington Wave. I think that Coach Huntley says that he fears Buddy Beardmore more than he fears the Washington Wave.
And from the Washington roster, only 3 players from any place other than the state of Maryland. That's the setup. We'll come back, starting lineups in the opening face-off right after this. Stay with us, everybody. Another good-sized crowd here at the Spectrum tonight for the second game of the Eagle League season here at the Philadelphia Spectrum. Larry Rosen with Tony Seaman as we await the opening moments of tonight's contest. Bit of a surprise in the goal for the Washington Wave. Glenn Little has not played all that many minutes in the first 3 games for Washington, and the goals against average justifiably high. A Maryland Arrows player from back in 1974.
Glenn Little, supposedly, from Coach Beardmore, told me, has a badly strained left wrist.
Okay, on the other end, Kevin Bilger, who was the key for the victory over the Saints with the 2nd best goals against average in the Eagle League thus far. We're just about ready at center court to get this one underway. And here are the starting lineups. The Philadelphia connection: J.R. Castle, Paul French, Mike French, Pat Hanley, Scott Groney for Philadelphia, with, of course, Kevin Bilger in goal. And the high-scoring line of Hoffman, Bartholome, DiCarlo, Lindsay, and McGetty on the floor for Washington. And, of course, when it is not in goal, Glenn Little is, and we are underway. And that, of course, is the Wave in red trimmed with white, moving right to left. The Wings in black trimmed with silver will move to our right. That's DiCarlo. Look for some quick shifting early. Lindsay in front on his shot into the midsection. And, of course, Tony, we expect those quick shifts early to get the legs for everybody.
Get everybody moving a little bit. We see a save by Bilger. Nothing feels better for a goalie than a save.
And there's one for Little off French. The rebound in front, and almost a 5-holer from Mike French, one of the league's leading scorers. But Little comes up big, wide open at the other end, and stopped off the shoulder. That was John Lehman. the brother of Philadelphia's Pat Lehman. And early action, no score. Changing on the fly to line 2. And a whistle. And it could be that illegal substitution.
Definitely. You know, Larry, for the first time, they're going to have 3 referees on the field tonight. And I think one of the main reasons for that will be to watch for the illegal substitution at the bench areas.
The Wave missing high-scoring Brad Kotz, a 2-time All-American, All-World player out of Syracuse. One of the few non-Maryland products with 10 goals, has shoulder and rib problems, will not play. The Wings missing Dennis Way and John Krummenacher. And now an explanation on the State's bench, or on the Wave bench, rather, as to why the penalty was waved off. So at even strength, just a warning to both teams about keeping the substitutions legit. And back come the Wave. An open right wing pass for John Lehman. Am I missing a short-handed play? They are indeed even strength.
You're right.
And here comes a 2-on-2 with a trailer. In the corner is Manley. Comes through the crease. Rebound, Chicharron can't come up with it. And some sloppy play through the first 90 seconds. And Little will set the floor for himself. Little listed at 6 foot, 260 pounds on the Maryland Arrows back in the old National Lacrosse League. Now almost 13 years ago, he has survived.
He's also the largest goalie in the league currently.
Score! Oh, my goodness, all by himself. That was Emmett Crinna, who was in the lineup to replace Brad Kotz, walked up the left wing, stopped, took the right-handed shot, and beat Bilger.
Crinnup's going to wind up sidearm, throws it off the hip of the defenseman Tucker, and it's in past Bilger. Once again, you see the windup come right off his hip. It's on the inside corner. Goal. Printup, a great attackman for the University of Syracuse.
And one of the few times you'll see a sidearm shot with that much velocity and excellent placement. So the early lead for Washington. First goal for Printup. Here's a 2-on-1 quickly forming. And the shot goes well wide and recovered to the top by John Grant. Flips off the double team. And now the Wings will attack 2-on-1. Use of the goalie, very smart by Washington, but the outlet intercepted by Grant. Grant will stay left-handed. The back pass is on target. The shot to score. Give it to Paul Danko.
Watch it behind the back. Man turns his head, wide open. Nice shot. Once again, you've got to watch your man after he gets rid of the ball. No one picks him up. There he is for the great pass from John Grant. And a score. We have a tie ball game.
And that should be Danko's first goal of the night. Oh, make it Jeff Harris, 19. I thought it was 15. Jeff Harris, the shooter. Now 3 goals, 3 assists. And the assist, of course, to John Grant. And it's tied at 1. Grant does so much work with the back pass. And here's a face-off violation by Philadelphia, and offside, Al Blau says. Called against Washington.
Can't leave the area until the ball comes out of the face-off circle.
Thank you, sir. Here's French, playing the role of point man in even strength. Of course, the teams play man-to-man defensively, by and large, and weave around the top of the box. Look for that type of high percentage shot along the floor by Pat Hanley. Handled easily. And a loose ball is scrum at center. Picked up by DiCarlo. Will go in alone. And he's beaten by the right shoulder of Bilger.
Bilger has been excellent tonight. Excellent. 3 great saves.
Holding around the neck, switching left hand is Manley off a foot of a teammate. Loose ball picked up by J.R. Castle. He's knocked down in front. And it's French trying to regain control. Now John Tucker, who we mentioned pregame, has added so much. Works the left wing, waits for reinforcement. That's Henry Chicharron.
21's lost his stick. Tucker gets the ball, and now he's going to play defense with no stick.
What can you do without a stick? Pushing is legal.
Tackle, push, rape, grab.
Now they switch. A penalty will be called as the arm is up, and a backhand shot is no good by Manley. But here's our first infraction of the night.
In field lacrosse, Larry, you cannot play without the stick. You've got to go to the sidelines and get another stick. You can't touch anybody. In box, you continue to play without the stick.
And the man who was left without the stick will wind up in the penalty box. That's not McCready. That's Mark Gold. Mark Gold from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, lost his stick and winds up with a 2-minute minor.
A big key last week was the effectiveness of the wings with their power play. Let's see what goes on tonight.
And John, the General Grant at the top. The field general, the floor general. The back pass. Of course, it's set up by left and right-hand shooters. There's the right-hand crease shot taken by French, and the ball winds up in the first row of seats, and Washington will recover. Mark Gold now has 4 minors on the season, 4 minutes in penalty on the season. 2 for holding, 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct. So this will be a 4-minute advantage for Philadelphia. There's Gold. Shot to save up the left leg. And Philadelphia will reset the floor. We played about 5 minutes, ones apiece. And the checking unit does their job to get the ball back. And here comes French, Hanley, Grant, and Jeff Harris. Harris in the left-hand shooter's role. Grant plays catch with French, who goes along the floor and recovers his own rebound. Short-handed, the Wave kind of standing around, not that aggressive, but now with a loose ball, they will attack. And a good check by Don Sadler. Grant recovers, loose ball, picked up by Gold alone, scores. Short-handed, Joe Gold, another player from the University of Baltimore, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, covers for his brother in the penalty box.
Picks it up, goes in all along, going to deke him a couple times high, and then shoots off to the offside.
And it was all set up by the great hit by Don Sadler, which set the floor for Gold. And that'll be his 4th of the season. Again, short-handed. Joe Gold with brother Mark in the penalty box. It's a 2-1 Wave lead, still short-handed.
Joe Gold has spent the last 3 years over in England running a lacrosse program for the country of England and trying to help them improve their game for the national and world contests.
Indoor or outdoor?
Outdoor.
By the way, the Wings 16 of 23 on the power play, and that was their most vital weapon against New Jersey a couple of weeks ago. Here comes that same unit, and we'll set it for you. Hanley, Harris, Grant, and the French connection of Paul and Michael. The shot is well wide by Jeff Harris, and a low percentage shot indeed, and not much motion. What's wrong with the power play?
Getting the shot from the outside. They're doing exactly what they made the Saints do last week. They're now doing. They're taking the perimeter shot instead of forcing the ball inside. There's the inside.
That was Hanley, who was beaten by the left leg of Little. Loose ball. Picked up by New Jersey, and a double team block on Jim Holstaff. The ball recovered loosely by Emmett Frinno, who had the night's first goal. Frinno goes 1-on-4, and a solid check by John Tucker. And he's as tough as they come. Tucker, the All-American out of Johns Hopkins on the 86 All-World team, does what it takes. And maybe Dave Huntley might try to mix up his power play attack unit, as this one has managed little. Another shot way wide by Jeff Harris, 15 rows back. The Wave, the league's best penalty-killing squad, is killing 63%. And now 8:10 remains. Sadler double team, throws it loose to Hoffman. Beautiful blind pass, but just a little bit too far ahead for Neil Bartholomew. And here comes Philadelphia with some open floor. Ciccarone right at the chest of Little, and a low percentage shot from the top of the box. Wave playing very poised thus far. John Lehman loses. Finally, a 2-on-1. It's French with Lehman. Shot is well wide as Paul French, hit it up himself despite Pat Lehman open on the right wing. Double team block, pops the ball free, and of course, It's John Tucker with room, has a trailer, won't use them. Into the screen of Little. And Little's looked good. I guess at that size, not a whole lot of motion necessary. Here comes Gold. Down the right wing, spins to the top and throws it wide. Bilger scores. Unbelievable, loose in front.
And Bilger put it right back out to them.
Call it Pat O'Connor on the goal. And that also comes shorthanded for Pat O'Connor. His first of the season. O'Connor from the University of Delaware.
Right between the legs of Bilger. The ball had gone loose behind on the boards. He had knocked it out, trying to hope to knock it to one of his players, but instead O'Connor picks the ball up and puts it away between Bilger's legs. I'll tell you right now, we're seeing just the opposite of what we saw in the last game against the New Jersey Saints. We're watching the Philadelphia Wings do just the opposite.
And a timeout taken by the Philadelphia Wings, trailing 3-1, but still on the power play. So the Wings will try to get it back together, cut the deficit while the manpower advantage continues. A timeout with 7:10 remaining in the first quarter. Back with more right after this. Back at the Spectrum, 8 seconds remain. The manpower advantage for Philadelphia. They've been burned for 2 shorthanded goals.
Here we go.
And just the last remaining seconds, an opportunity to get it in position. Philadelphia does not take advantage of those final moments, and the teams are back at full strength. That's Mark DeSicco from Loyola who came up with a loose ball. And it's kind of a walk-it-up pace right now. 3 men across the top for the Wave. And the Wings on the perimeter throughout the first period. There's an inside backhand shot by Manley. Handled by Little. Fight for the loose rebound. Picked up by Henry Chicharone, who has 3 goals in 3 games. Had 2 men in front.
2 people wide open. Somebody got confused on defensive assignments. So the Wave and left 2 Wings in front.
Looked like the Wings were covering one another as Tucker gets a big piece of his man. Al Blau, the referee, gets involved, and that leads to a 2-on-2. But good back-checking by Philadelphia's Pat Hanley. And a loose ball. Picked up by Mark Gold, now out of the penalty box. To the top is Huffman, way wide. Well, that's Kevin Forrester, number 32. And the Wings have not been able to keep the Wave away from the front of Kevin Bilger, although no high percentage shot. Again, a very loose pass at center, picked up by John Lehman. Lehman among the league leaders in assists and goals. And a deep rebound off the boards, and really a very slow pace to the early going, Tony.
Yeah, I don't think that the Wave has quite the speed, and they feel that they want to slow it down, keep the tempo in their kind of game.
So here is Frank Orso to John Lehman. Rebound in front is scored by Mark Gold, and a lot of standing around in the Philadelphia crease area. And they suddenly face a 3-goal deficit to Philadelphia as Mark Gold, good job on the rebound.
See the ball come off the board, and then Gold picks it up and puts it in. A rebound play. That can actually be a set play. You watch Urso, he shoots wide here, and Gold comes underneath, picks the ball up, and puts it away. So that's an interesting concept on the inside game. You can use these boards to work for you.
Mark Gold, 5'7", 160-pounder from University of Maryland, Baltimore County. His 5th and a 3-goal lead. Back comes Philadelphia. Grant screens to allow Harris to come down the wing.
We've got a penalty.
There's the delayed penalty call.
It looked like that might have been a high stick.
I think, yeah, a high fist up in the head.
And that'll be on number 19, Jim DiCarlo out of Townsend State, who's also one of the higher goal scorers for the Wave team with 6.
I certainly hope that we can get the power play together now. We've got John Grant in the middle spot again. Harris on his right and French on his left.
The general to Harris, who has been wide on that far post on 3 of his attempts. I guess he's trying to pick a corner on Little.
Well, he's sure not doing a very good job. He's picking the boards off. That's what he's doing.
Here is Grant. Again, the wave in a four-man box. Sticks held high. Grant famous for that back pass. There's Harris. Again, wide, far side. Looked like an instant replay.
And if he steps in 2 more steps, he'll have Manley wide open in tight.
There's Manley, and a lovely left foot save.
Great pass, great save.
By Little, and he's been the difference. A lot of open floor for Mark Huffman. And Bilger comes up big to keep it a 4-1 game. Save on Bartholomew.
Washington almost did it again. They seem to be sneaking behind the wings.
And no line change. Again, that walk it up pace. No floor checking done by either squad, really. The Wave sitting back in their box shorthanded. Grant. His first shot, and it's a weak one. And there's a wide open breaker. Bartholomew has to run it down in the left wing corner. Not much in the way of a trailer, but he'll rag and kill some time. Finally, Grant forces him to give it up. That's Bill Weicker from Virginia.
Little certainly has been the difference so far, Larry. And you know, Coach Beardmore hadn't made a decision on his starting goalie until the final 2 minutes before the game started, worried about Little's sprained right wrist. But man, what a job he's done so far.
And another shorthanded goal, this one by Bill Weicker, who just walked in front from Mike French. And the Wings have their heads down low right now.
See the pass over to him. He's got Mike French reaches. He goes right by Mike French and puts it between Bilger's legs. Not Bilger's fault by any sense of the imagination.
French just committed to the ball. And a great sidearm shot.
One of the problems on your power play is that you got your 5 best offensive players on the court, and then you got to go down the other end and play defense. They don't necessarily happen to be your 5 best defensive players, as exhibited there. And French and Grant certainly are what we call defensive keys for the Philadelphia Wings.
In a 6-game season, tough to think of a team coming out flat in one of their 3 home performances, but that's been the case thus far. Mark DeSico, who did not play against New Jersey, forces the big save. And Little, on his knees, taps it away.
Acrobatic save. He does almost a goalie flip.
Mark Huffman, good speed for the big guy. They call him Cheeseburger out of Salisbury State. And his dad, Paul Huffman, was the coach and player for the Baltimore Bullets. Back when they were the Baltimore Bullets of the NBA, of course now the Washington Bullets. And a well-spread floor, back on even strength. And a good job, New Jersey. 3 shorthanded goals for Washington. And we've reached the final 2.5 minutes of the first period. And we get some Al Blau with a call as they spread the floor, looking at the stall. And why'd they have the floor spread?
I don't know why they were the floor spread, but they got a forearm in the face. So we go man up again, and certainly this is maybe Washington's just coming out now and trying to make penalties because they seem to score every time that the Wings are extra man.
That's Emmett Printup who goes in the box. He had scored the first goal tonight. And again, the Wave 3 shorthanded goals already this evening. And the same unit, no. A bit of a change in the unit as Greg Manley replaces Jeff Harris in the left-hand shooter. There he is, to Grant at the top. He'll take it sidearm. Loose rebound. Grant can't pick it up. And here's a breaking Joe Gold. Grant's going to try to run him down. No chance there. Gold scores. Takes the first move and beats Bilger high. And that is 4 shorthanded goals.
We talk about speed. There certainly is an example of speed. Here we see just runs away from John Grant, comes in, keeps the shot high, goes over top of the left or the right shoulder of Bilger.
Now, should Bilger come out and challenge? Is he caught a little bit flat here?
No, I think he's got to hold the line. You just got to try to use your body and make the save at all possible, but no way to come out.
That's great placement from Mark Gold.
Great overhand shot, comes down, finds any one of the 4 corners to shoot at, sees what's open, and puts it home.
4th of the season, 2nd of the night, 4th shorthanded. 6-1, the Wave in this battle for really what amounts to 2nd place, as the New Jersey Saints have clinched at least a tie for 1st place, and they will host one of the first-round playoff games, either March 7th or March the 8th. One-on-one, eyeball to eyeball, broken up.
Washington seems to score at will.
And it's all the way back. And the derisive cheers come for Kevin Bilger, but really he's been left to dry.
Yeah, it sure has. It certainly hasn't been his fault. There's a pick high. That's the first time we've seen some decent ball movement.
A good reversal to Lehman, who tries to go high, and Little beats him.
Little is very big tonight.
Alone in front. Oh, and a wide open Manley could not handle the pass. The back pass to Ciccarone goes right side in front. Shot is just wide, and Lehman had a lot of net to shoot at. Might have gone for the far corner. Double team block, and they might win it on the floor, but not on the scoreboard. With 45 seconds remaining, Tucker throws a stick, and that'll be an unnecessary penalty as Little heads for his bench. And the whistle finally blows.
I think we're starting to get some frustration out here on the part of the Wings. Seeing them start to lose a little bit of their composure.
Might be an unnecessary roughness on John Tucker, who has now 6 penalty minutes on the season to lead the squad.
There's the wrap check, but he hits him in the face with the wrap check. One hand, a wrap check, tries to get the back end or the butt of the stick to come around, snap, and hit the other man's stick. He got him in the face.
That's right in front of the referee, as it looks as if now the Washington Wave have called a timeout. And we'll stay with it and try to figure out what's gone wrong. The Wings a step slow, a little bit short so far tonight.
Well, a couple things that you have said have been very, very pertinent. Number one is that there's no movement on the Wings. We're getting some ball movement, but we don't have much player movement, especially in the power play. And I think that the shooter side of the middle man, the point man, has got to start to put some pressure with the ball down low so he gets the man to play him and then dump off for the easier shot inside. Now, they did that at the last time, but Little was just making great saves.
Now, with all the power play time that the Grant unit, if you will, has spent on the floor, kind of difficult to keep the lines in order and to keep the playing time even. Although the Ciccarone line, the third line, has had much the better of the play, at least in the final 5 minutes.
Yes, that's very true. So it screws up a lot of things, and I guess the thing that has definitely hurt the Wings the most so far is that when you have your best 5 offensive players, as we said, in the case of the Wings, they're certainly not the best 5 defensive players.
You know that guy on the screen?
Yeah, there's Clayton Buddy Beardmore, and what a job he has done over the years in this game of lacrosse.
Of course, a national champion coach a couple of times at Maryland.
Coach of the Year twice for the USILA, and just a great lacrosse person. His son right now is the starting goalie at the University of Maryland, where he coached for so many years. His other son just graduated from the University of Maryland and is an assistant coach there. So the Beardmore tradition goes on and on.
Dave Huntley told us that he tries very hard to put this team together based on chemistry. Well, Beardmore certainly has as well almost the entire contingent of the Wave. Maryland natives, and many played either at Maryland or University of Maryland, Baltimore County.
And every one of those Maryland graduates on this Washington Wave team played for Buddy Beardmore. We're even.
Right, with 12, 10, 11, 10 and counting. One final shot for Frank Orso. Sidearm, short hop, goes wide, and that'll do it on period number 1. And a dynamic period for Washington. The Wave built a 6-1 lead through one period. They did it mostly with their short-handed unit. 1 quarter complete from the Spectrum. The Wings trail the Wave 6-1. Second quarter action when we come right back. Crashing against the shore in quarter number 1. Washington builds a 6-1 lead as we begin second quarter action. We look back at Glenn Little, the difference in quarter number 1, keeping the Wings off the scoreboard with some fine work, especially on the upper body side.
Well, he has just been outstanding. He's been, not only for his size, that's to block a lot of shots, but he has been acrobatic as well.
Of course, we've switched sides. The Saints in red, trimmed with white, will move to our right. Well wide.
Now we look at their power play. Maybe we can get going here with some man down scores.
Washington had been 15 for 23 on the power play coming in, 65%. The Wings kill off only about 38% of the penalties that they've been assessed. 10 goals against in 16 short hands. And a violation by Philadelphia.
We just had an interference called against the Wings, so the Wave get the ball back. Here they go again. They set up in the same basic formation. Now they switch out of it. They have some movement.
And a pick by Orso. Well done, but the shot is handled. What a lovely set play set about by Gold and Orso.
And watch for that now. The center man, the point man, will throw the ball to the wing, and then he'll go in and pick one side or the other, and they'll look for that.
They're now the room in front. Philadelphia on a weak shot goes wide.
And the ball.
And the Wings are able to rag. Ciccarone will probably look to kill some time. No, he's got a teammate. And they'll stay aggressive.
We've seen 3 different teams now, Larry, counting the Wings, and certainly by far the Wings are the most aggressive physically. There's no doubt about it. We just saw that pick play, and a minute later we come back and we see the Wings go and just abuse the people in no man's land in there. And
the penalty has ended. That was Steve Way clearing out. And quickly they fall into a man-to-man set. Tucker now at the top. Will attack Orso. There is a shot clock. We've not had reason to mention it thus far tonight. Orso all by himself. Oh, he had the shot. Look for the pass. And that might have been ill-advised. Orso in front. McGinney a score. Lovely touch pass and a quick shot by J.P. Lindsay. They call him Jeepers. And Jeepers, he got rid of that one in a hurry.
Okay, we see a great pass by McGeady and what we call a quick stick. He doesn't cradle. He doesn't make sure the ball's in his stick. He catches and throws. Gets with the ball and throws it in.
How accurate can you be with that kind of a shot?
You can be accurate. It's a quick release. It's like a Gretzky slap shot as opposed to lining it up and then wristing it. You know, this is, you let it hit that stick and then it's gone.
A one-timer, if you will.
Exactly right. And it's very hard for a goalie because he's over where the pass is coming from. By the time he shifts back and gets set, it's by him.
How about a 7-1 Washington lead? Of course, the Wings beat the Saints 7-1 in quarter number 2 a couple of weeks ago. That was their period. And an intercept by French. Will come by himself. Seems as if the Wave is a smaller, quicker team and perhaps better runners, and the Wings seem the more physical squad.
So far, and I really thought that the Wings were going to have better speed all around, but so far certainly hasn't worked out that way. I think maybe we're getting faked out a little bit by movement. I think we're seeing Washington with a lot of movement. And the Wings are more standing around tonight.
And this is the Philadelphia unit with the Frenches. Got Brownie, number 22. That's French. And that shot's not going to do much. The rebound left there by Bilger. Centering pass and a score! Who's that? Greg Manley?
Manley from French.
Pat Hanley make it from French, the one-time midfielder from Towson State. And a nice centering ball.
French with a great pass. Over top the far post. Nice bounce shot. Good overhand shot. We see it again. Leaves French's stick. Hanley. And it's between Lindell's legs. I guess that's where we have to go. We have to go between the big man's legs.
Of course, Pat Hanley had 4 goals against New Jersey. Now has 7 on the season. 12 points overall. And a big goal to get a little momentum building. A quiet spectrum. It was so loud against New Jersey, which is all we really can compare it to right now.
Well, that should certainly wake them up. Let's hope so.
All alone in front. A great job back-checking by Castle to break up what looked like a breakaway for the Wave.
What you want to see as a coach, you want to see that score, but then you want to see another one and another one. You want to get that momentum going. It's so important in this game.
John O'Steffen behind the wing net. Bumps with Castle. And French picks it up. Again, a 45-second clock. And I think we had one violation against New Jersey a couple of weeks ago. It does not come into play all that often.
Right, we don't set up that much. It's mostly an up-and-down game, and it's based on breaks and rebounds. So you're going to get that shot off in 45 seconds.
And here's General Grant on the right wing. Looks like he wants to do it alone a little bit, a clear out, if you will.
I think it's the first time we've seen him tonight regular, not on the power play. It's the first time he's been on the floor.
Has a man open right wing. Shot down low. Rebound is controlled by Philadelphia. There's Little coming up big again. It was Steve Way who was alone in front. And it's still a 7-2 Washington lead, 4.5 minutes into period number 2.
John Lehman, the great player for the Washington Wave, I asked him tonight what he thought the difference was in this game. What was the most outstanding difference between the field game and the box? And he just looked at me, smiled, and he said, the smallness of the goal. Boy, when you have somebody like Little inside of that small goal, it's smaller.
Oh, a nice turnaround move looking for DiCarlo. Of course, the goal is 4x4 in the indoor game. DiCarlo drops it back out front to McGeady. Will use a DiCarlo screen and fire wide. It bumps off Kenny Stokes, one of our line people.
That was a 45-second call right there. No shot on cage, so they lose the ball.
And here's Tucker trying to walk in front. Oh, almost a crease violation as he steps in the circle. Nothing called. And he's got French at the top. Side-on shot scored. A quick shot taken by Paul French. And it's 7-3.
The spectrum comes alive. Let's hope the Wings do. Here we see it. Nice pass. Over to French. Sidearm. Gets it off his man's hip. And it beats Little to Little's left. You're going to see it come off the defensive man's hip again. It's very, very difficult for a goalie to see the ball and follow it.
That is his 6th. Of course, Little was moving to his right. The shot came back short side on the centering play. And French gets the Wings within 7-3. And the Wings obviously better off even strength than on the power play.
Certainly are tonight.
John Tucker will get the assist. And it's a 7-3 game.
Big face-off. That helps. Getting another one now. You can get that 2 or 3 in a row. It means so much.
Chicorone starts the play to Manley. Tries to back pass. Shot is well handled from Dave Little.
Little combined with a 5 short-handed goals.
And back on the Wave. Again, there is very limited forechecking in the indoor game. Get back in your man-to-man and try to keep that porch clear. A screen up at the top. That's legal. Moving screen. Low shot taken and handled by Bilger.
Bilger's done the job. Most of the perimeter shots he's handled very well tonight. The 7 goals from the Wave have all been pretty much one-on-ones.
Well, a long pass for French. Off the pipe. Gets the zone rebound. And hammers it wide. As French snuck in behind the Wave defense. That little Mark Gold brings it out. And they change on the go. Right wing pass. Is reset by Sadler at the top.
You know, so much goes on at the substitution boxes that it's hard to follow all the time, but you can get some definite advantages. You got 2 ends of the box. If you've got your man running off one end and running on the other, you can certainly get a 10-yard lead.
And here's the whistle, and it looks like too many men on the field, perhaps, is about to be called.
It was an interference call of some kind against the Wave.
Well, the Wave had players coming out of both ends of their box as O'Connor came out the left side, Huffman out the right, and the Wings looking for a penalty. Instead, just get an even possession, and they'll start moving to our left with the Philadelphia unit. There's French. Will walk in, has a man in front, blocked nicely by Emmett Crinnup, who has great speed. Here he comes in the open floor. Has a trailer, has a winger, fakes, and throws it back out front. Well done, but no score as it goes wide.
Once again, we see the famous John Grant pass fake being used very well by Emmett Crinnup.
Pass fake kind of shows you the ball and then pulls it back away from you as French uses the body on Crinnup and comes away with the ball with 7:20 remaining. Long right wing pass for Hanley. Waits for a screen, has a man crossing right out in front. Shot beaten by Little off the pipe as the Wings hold up their arms looking for a Pat Lehman score. And here's a length of the floor pass to Gold. Tucker, good hustle back, and a whistle. And it looks like the illegal substitution is now being called. And I think they can call that as often as they feel the need right now. By that time, they will call it on the Wave on Matt Negati, who came out of one end of the box, before his teammate had gotten in the other.
That's just what we were talking about, and it does give you a tremendous advantage. If you figure out the length of that box, you're talking about 15 yards.
Well, here come the Wings on the power play, and we say it with trepidation as they've been burned shorthanded several times tonight. Fred's shot is handled by Little, and General Grant starts it at the top. Sidearm shot is handled at the knee. And here's a breakaway. A clean, unadulterated breakaway for Bartolome. And how did Tucker pop off?
They didn't catch him.
My goodness, nicely done by Bilger on Hutzkamp. Almost yet another shorthanded goal with 6:20 and counting. And back to the power play unit that features Harris, Grant, French, and Hanley. Hanley by the crease, over the shoulder pass. Lovely job by Little with the blocker to come up with it.
Little has just been so outstanding tonight. I mean, he is the total difference in this ball game. It could easily be a 7-7, 8-7 ball game.
And a double team block by Philadelphia. And coming out with it is Jeff Harris. Harris, the All-American out of Johns Hopkins, one of the better shooters on the wing, leaves.
Now we've got a little bit more movement in the power play, and we've seen two fine shots in close.
As Harris walks up the floor and takes the low-angle shot. Fresh 45. And this is Grant to French. Looking for the back pass, goes across. Well done, but no goal as it goes off the net over the top as Pat Hanley has been set up, and he too was fired wide.
I think we're going to have a face-off here because the shot was on cage. The goalie made the save. His momentum carried the ball out of bounds. It's not like taking the shot and missing and then going out of bounds. So it will be a face-off to determine possession.
And we'll see who takes it.
To Little's left side, right, Little's right.
Huntley's putting his checking line on to get the ball, secure the ball control, and then hopefully get his man-up team on. We're going to get a timeout here.
The Wave take a timeout. They've controlled it start to finish thus far. A break in the action. It's 5 minutes, 18 seconds remaining in quarter number 2 from the Spectrum. The Wave lead the Wings 7-3. More lacrosse action coming up in just a moment.
The red-hot Philadelphia Wings. Final regular season game of Eagle League Pro Box Lacrosse. The Wings versus the Baltimore Thunder. This Saturday night, 8 p.m. on the Spectrum. The championship is on the line. The Philadelphia spirit lives on, and they need you for the 7th-man advantage. Box Lacrosse. High-scoring, hard-hitting, rough, tough. See the Wings' legendary John Grant, the incredible duo of the French brothers, and All-American John Tucker. The Wings versus the Thunder. The game is to win and survive.
The best selection.
Back at the Spectrum, Larry Rosen with Tony Seaman and Kevin Bilger keeping the Wings in it with some good play midway through the second period.
You get those many one-on-one opportunities, and they score on them. Here he makes a great save. It gets his blood flowing again and gets him some confidence that he can make some of those saves. And God knows the way it's going. He needs a lot of those. Here we go with a face-off now.
The Wings in the final moments of a power play. 0 for 3 tonight on the power play, working on 0 for 4. The checking unit gets possession. And Huntley says, stay out there. He was about to bring his power play unit out, but he says, why not? Tucker started off to Ciccarone, and now they're at even strength. A pick for Ciccarone. Working in front, a shot is off the bar. And a fight in the corner, and it looks like a penalty coming up against Philadelphia. As Little moves his 260-pound frame humping and pumping toward the bench, the whistle blows.
We'll have a slashing call here. He slashed them.
As the frustration begins to mount for Philadelphia, Greg Dexter Manley from Loyola College, now an assistant coach, hoping his players don't see that he got caught for a slash around the head with 4:48 remaining in the second quarter. If you're a player out there and a coach, you know your kids might be back from school watching.
Here he goes now. You're going to see him start to really hack away. Well, we didn't get enough of it there, but he certainly did a job on his arm.
All Wings defenders within about 10 feet. Out front, that means Orso has plenty of room to set the floor, and Bilger a big save. And the rebound is shot wide. by Lehman. Orso drills Lehman, but Gold picks it up on the crease. Shot to save low by Bilger. And now a 2-on-0 in front. The shot is off the far bar by Gold. And Washington really peppering with a power play. The double team in the corner. Loosely, nobody in front to protect Bilger. Bodies begin to fly. And Al Blau steps in. And we'll see if there will be any penalties assessed.
Excellent job by the man-down unit of the Wings. Real good job. Got the ball under control. Kept it over on the boards as long as he could. Took a beating doing it. And it works out well. But now the Wave gets the ball back.
That was John Lehman and Pat Lehman doing a little battling a la in their driveway when they were about 10 years old. They are brothers. There's a third brother, Ben Lehman, on the Wave. Does not see all that much time. Good work in front. Oh, and the final pass could not be handled by Matt McGeady. But that a lovely four-way passing play and looked like an easy power play goal about to be registered by the Wave. We've been stuck on 7-3 for quite some time. 3 remaining in the first half. And here's a tackle.
We have a foul. I'm not sure it's going to be a hold or if it's going to be a trip. He calls it a 2-minute minor.
On Matt McGeady.
I believe it's a hold on McGeady. Coach Beardmore, I think we'll see it here on the replay. See, he holds him, tackles him, holds him up, and then he sticks his leg out and trips him. But he held him before he tripped him. So we just get a 2-minute minor.
And it will be an even strength situation for about a half a minute until Greg Manley comes out for the Wings. And again, Tony, I can't help but repeat, the Wings playing a half a step shy, a little bit slow. Dave Huntley trying to find a way to get some momentum for a squad.
Absolutely. Boy, I tell you, Bilger just came up with 3 big saves there, one-on-one. So if that doesn't get them back into this a little bit, but they got to do it at the offensive end.
And they're playing 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders in this even strength situation. French's shot is wide on the near side, and it's taken by Bill Weicker with great speed. Has Lehman alone, will shoot and score. John Lehman, the league leader.
One of the finest placement shooters in the game of lacrosse. Not velocity, but placement. He can just find it. Here he comes down. You'll see him pick his spot. And it's by, in fact, he gets both pipes.
And both pipes and the elbow pad of Bilger before it goes in.
Nice pass that he's able to keep in front of him and handle. I think it almost looks like it hits off of Bilger's stick and then hits the pipes and goes in. But John Lehman, just a fine, fine shooter.
His 6th, and it will be considered an even strength goal. And an 8-3 Washington Wave lead. Remember, at halftime, we'll visit Dave Huntley, coach, general manager, Philadelphia Wings.
I think that what we're seeing here tonight on this power play, the big problem that we keep emphasizing, of course, is that you got your best 5 offensive players on the field. But at the same time, I think what we're also seeing is that bad shot selection from the Wings, and that causes rebounds, and the rebounds are going into the hands of the Wave, and then the Waves are getting these breakaways, and they're getting 1-on-1 or 2-on-1s against Bilger, and that seems to be our problem tonight, more so than anything else.
And they will allow Greg Manley to come out of the penalty box following the Wave goal, so this is power play time in the final 3 minutes of the first half. John Tucker, Henry Chiccarone. Chiccarone's been active with the feet, but not a whole lot to show for it. And that's not going to do very much good either. As Philadelphia left with perimeter shots and a quick transition game. It's Holtzkamp, switches to left-handed and scores! A short hopper over the shoulder of a committing Kevin Bilger. And suddenly a 9-3 Wave lead.
We're going to see it on the replay. You're going to see an excellent left-handed shot here. Sweeps across to lose 2 men. Tucker almost acts as a screen. Just a great bounce shot that Bilger doesn't get out and make the save on. You'll see it from the front now.
At 12:26.
Great action work by our replay people. Super camera work. You see the high bounce shot go in over his stick. He tries to smother it low and can't make the save.
Well, that counts as the 5th shorthanded goal of the evening for the Wave. And they lead it by 6 in the closing 2 minutes, 15 seconds. of the first half. And let us say tonight that the floor has been in incredibly good shape. Last time we were in the Spectrum, some mat problems, but they sealed it excellently tonight, let it sit overnight with some heavy weights on the seams, and we have had no problems whatsoever with the floor, only with the opposition, the Washington Wave. And a whistle.
There's a violation. The ball had gone over the center line while short-handed, and then it comes back on the other side.
So you are not allowed to go over and back short-handed. When you are short-handed, you still must attack. The clock still runs, so the violation for ragging back in their own zone. And it's the general, John Grant, who's been silent tonight.
It's so important in the game of lacrosse to always remember that no matter what the score or how many goals you're down, it's so easy to score goals in this game, and you can come back so quickly, and the other team doesn't automatically get the ball after you score because it's a face-off. So you can get back in them, and they can catch the momentum. They're certainly not out of this game by any shape or imagination. In fact, this one here can get them one closer. Great save by Little again.
Great save by Little, as he has been the difference for Pat Henley with 1:15 remaining. Recovered Philadelphia. Tucker breaking down the top. He scores. John Tucker, the overhead shot of John Tucker gives him all the room in the world to shoot for, and Little can't handle it.
You're so right, Larry. It's so important to get that goalie moving. We see a great pass over the top. Tucker with a great handle, and then it's by on his off-stick side. Just a great handle by Tucker. So we see John Tucker, not only the enforcer or the aggressor, but he's also a great offensive player. He can do it all. The guy is just, he's an MVP. He's an all-around ball player, and he's going to get you back into the game.
A 1986 All-World player, now has 5 goals on the season out of Johns Hopkins. And now a timeout taken by the Wave to try to protect this 5-goal lead. And it doesn't take a genius to say that the difference has been the Wings' inability to score on the power play, and they've allowed 5 shorthanded goals. If you're a coach, what do you try to tell your squad about that kind of a set of circumstances?
Well, I think one thing that Dave has to emphasize to the Wings is that you've got to get in for better shots. Your shot selection is not good now. If you've got a 9-4 lead, you can shoot from the perimeter, but when you're down, you can't. You got to get in, you got to get the better shot. You've got to make Little move. He's a big mass that stands there in front of that 4x4, but if you get him moving, and we've seen that now on the 4 goals, 3 of them is when we've caught Little having to move from one side to the other, and you can get it by him. And that's so important for them now. Their shot selection must improve drastically.
3 1s across the time clock, 1:11 remaining in the first half. A 9-4 Washington Wave lead. And Philadelphia on a nice set play for Chickarone, has possession. This is a quick 3-on-2 forming, a load in front, and he got the pass a little bit too late. Did Greg Manley, goes behind, and not much offense from behind in the indoor game. Only 12 feet from the end boards to the front of the goal line, so no Wayne Gretzky moves back there. Shot is taken well wide by Townsend, and a loose ball handled by Jersey. Washington, a cherry picker at the other end for the Waves. Back quickly in the final 35 seconds. Shot is taken by DeCarly into the midsection of Bilger, and no long outlet.
I think one thing that we're definitely seeing a different philosophy here from the Washington Wave. We've emphasized that they're quick, but if you notice, what you're really saying is that their ball movement is quick. They move the lacrosse ball. They don't carry it very long.
Score by French on the over-shoulder pass from Pat Henley. And that, with only 12 seconds remaining, will be a big goal in terms of momentum for Philadelphia.
A really big, good cut by Paul French. Great shot selection. See, he's in close. He's got all 4 corners, and he makes Little move, and it's so important.
What a pass.
Once again, great pass, great movement. Much better than that perimeter shot that just throws out rebounds and allows them to come back down the other end for the Wave.
Now, Paul French has 2 goals and 2 assists on the night. So he's been part of 4 of the 5 Wings goals, but they're going to go off trailing. They've cut the gap, though, from 9-3 to 9-5, and this is a little bit more manageable just moments before halftime. And a chance for one final drive. Good hustling play in front. Does not yield very much. by Pat Lehman. A 2-on-1, but that's too late. It won't mean anything. That's too late. So the Washington Wave post 5 short-handed goals, hold the powerful Philadelphia Wings power play unit in check, and they've led from start to finish. It's 9-3 at halftime here at the Spectrum. Stay tuned for our special interview, highlights and analysis, all coming up at the half. Time at the Spectrum. Larry Rosen with you, and a chance to meet and greet the head coach and general manager of the Philadelphia Wings. To my left, Dave Huntley. Dave, welcome to Philadelphia officially. What do you think of the city so far for box lacrosse?
It's just been everything we thought it would be. In fact, even a little bit more. The response from the public, the fans, the media, everything's been just super, and we're happy to be here. And glad we won our first game last week, and hopefully we're doing the same this week.
Your background, of course, goes deep into the tradition of the indoor game as an American lacrosse player and a Canadian citizen. Run through your extensive background a little bit for us.
Well, I grew up in Canada and played box lacrosse up there with people that here could relate to. A lot of the old Wings, Carm Collins, John Grant, Jim Watson, Larry Lloyd. I mean, the list goes on forever, those guys. And then I went to Johns Hopkins University for college education and had a chance to play there. And well, we just had a hell of a team there too, and it was a lot of fun.
What about the international competition with some of the guys from the '78 international competition still out there playing right now?
Yeah, it was the same old story again. Interestingly enough, on our team right now, there's Mike French, John Grant, and myself, holdovers from '78. I might have been the only one with the good sense to step into the suit, and they're still out there flogging around.
We saw you step onto the pitch when Bill Baroza gave a shot to one of your players. You're kind of an active, feisty general manager that reflects the character you hope for from your team.
Well, that's an unfortunate thing. You hope that you never have to do something like that. And I just want to make sure that my players understand that I'm going to back them up all the way. And if that means going on the floor, or if it means backing them up with, management, thing like that, that's the case. And they're my players, and I'm responsible for them. And I regret I did that, actually. It looked kind of foolish, but it worked.
A lot of these guys, of course, all Americans in the outdoor game, and you have to be able to judge their ability to make the transition inside. What do you look for in some of the outdoor stars to see if their skills will translate inside?
Well, one of the things I look for with this particular team is relatively short season, relatively short lead-up before the season. I went with a lot of players that I knew, and I knew their background in field lacrosse as well as in box lacrosse, with a John Grant, a Paul French, a Mike French, and tried to meld some chemistry there and get instant chemistry. And it took us a while at the start of the year to get the chemistry going, but I think it's starting to flow now for us. It was more a chemistry thing, not any particular skill or what have you.
New Jersey has clinched at least the tie for first place. Now the key is to be able to get a playoff game in Philadelphia. That's what you're shooting for in half number 2?
Right. I think what we're really prepared to do right now is almost concede first place to New Jersey, and really our objective is just to win our last 3 games of the year and try and get that home floor advantage. It's irrelevant whether we end up in first place or second place. As you know, the championship game will be held here at the Spectrum on March 14th.
Best of luck, and thanks, Dave Huntley, head coach, general manager, Philadelphia Wings. We'll come back and look at first half highlights and recap it all for you. Set the stage for half number 2 right after this. To the Spectrum, Larry Rosen with Tony Seaman, head coach, lacrosse, University of Pennsylvania, 9-5, Washington Wave lead at halftime. And one of the major reasons for the Wave lead is goaltender Glenn Little, who held Philadelphia to just 1 goal in the first period, coming up big throughout the early going. And as we go to the scoring summary, it was a 6-1 Wave lead. Turnup got him going. Jeff Harris responded, then 5 unanswered goals by the Wave, and they went off leading by a count of 6-1 after the first quarter. In quarter number 2, Philadelphia began to get it going a little bit after Lindsay had made it 7-1. Hanley and French combined with back-to-back goals. Then Lehman and Hoaxcamp scored to make it a 9-3 game. Then John Tucker made it 9-4. And then the second goal of the night for Paul French cut the lead to 9-5. And that's where we stand here at halftime. Hear that lovely goal for Paul French, Coach.
Yes, once again, we said Paul moved. He made a nice cut through the middle, gets the real nice behind-the-head pass, puts a nice hard bounce shot, comes up over top of Little. When you look at Little, you'll notice that the right hand, the hand that holds his goalie stick, is very heavily taped on the right hand. And when he's in the cage later on, starting the second half, you can pick that up on camera. In fact, there's a great shot just as he turned his belly. His belly got in the way. That's heavily taped also. But he does have, there it is, and you can see the heavy tape job that's down on his glove and right wrist. And that's what Coach Beardmore was talking about to me in the locker room before the game, and was the reason that he wasn't sure he was going to use Glenn tonight. But I'll tell you what, Buddy Beardmore is one happy man that he chose Mr. Little in that first half.
Now with Bruce Winan lining up to take the practice shots, is this indicative that Bruce, number 22, might wind up starting the second half in goal?
He might very well, but that would really surprise me. I think that Little has kept him in this game. That would really shock me if they went to another goalie at this stage.
And there's Kevin Bilger. You really can't fault the big guy. Bilger at 6'3" from University of Maryland, a 13.99 goals against average, stopped 35 shots against New Jersey, and has played very well tonight. Maybe a couple of cheapies that he kicked in off his own foot.
Yeah, not many, and he just gave the one rebound back when he went behind the cage, picked the ball up, and just tried to throw it away on a man-up situation, which was a shame. But I agree 100% with you. You can't fault Bilger at all. We've got to fault the power team for the Wings and not being smart on their shot selection. That's got to be the big problem right now, and they've got to correct that. I think they have worked at it.
There are the standings. New Jersey at 4-1. They've clinched at least a tie for first place already. And they'll have a home game, and the other three teams are 1-2. Philadelphia will be hosting Baltimore on the 21st of February. Then the Wings go to Washington on the 25th, and the season ends with Washington facing Baltimore February the 6th. And the playoffs begin either the 7th or the 8th of March, and we'll have to wait and see how they wind up before we set the scene for the playoffs as the Wave come together to our right. And it will indeed be Little, who at 6 feet 260 or so takes up most of that 4x4 just with his girth. Got to pick a corner with that guy around, and now the Wings to our left beat around Kevin Bilger 9-5. Certainly not an insurmountable deficit by any stretch of the imagination, Tony.
No, especially when you know, in this game you can just come back so quickly, and the face-off definitely allows you to get the ball back right away, and there you are with offensive control again. So momentum's a big thing, and spurts are a big thing in this game, and certainly Buddy Beardmore has made it very, very clear to the Wave that by no way have they won the game yet, and I think Huntley has told his guys, look, this is it. We got to get back in this thing, and it's going to be right here now in the start of this third period where we can get back in this game, so let's do it.
Beardmore and GM Joe Daly were telling us that their games have all been televised, and therefore they've been an easier team to scout around the league. This, the second telecast of the Wings at home. Everybody had our Jersey-Philadelphia game to scout off over the last couple of weeks, and now we're adding to the video library of the Eagle League tonight at the Spectrum.
You know, it's funny, when you make a couple saves like Little has done tonight and then add to it, you start believing there's nothing in the world that can go in. And God, that just makes you more and more effective. Goalies are crazy people anyway, and the mental part is so important to them.
Tucker tries to keep it alive at center, but Lindsay comes up with it. And here comes Washington. McGeady out of Maryland gets a screen from Mark Huffman. And resets a wide open center area as Barthelme comes through, and the set play yields Little. Loose ball shot picked up and saved by Bilger alone in front. Walking in is McGeady, and he's beaten off the right arm of Bilger. And a solid check. A couple of them thrown along the boards. But the ball is recovered by Jersey over the shoulder nicely to McGeady, and Bilger comes out with it.
I caught Bilger right in the face mask, but he stayed with it, covered the rebound. There's a great up-the-field pass.
And a score! A quick shot by J.R. Castle. The first goal of the season for the one-time All-East Coast Conference performer from Drexel University. out of Penn Charter, and a quick shot, Tony, does the damage.
It sure does. It goes right between. Little can't believe it. Watch him more than anything else after the goal. He looks up in the heavens and said, how the hell did that ever go in?
Great pass to start it, though. No two-line pass problems in this sport.
No, there sure aren't, and it's a secret. You can see there, what a great shot. And it went right between his stick and his right leg. And he's just like, I can't believe it. And that can be effective now. Let's see if that gets the Wings back in here and gets Mr. Little saying him, start to ask himself some questions.
So J.R. Castle, James Castle, gets the first goal of the third period. And Bilger will set the table himself. Loose ball, this is dangerous, 2-on-0, walking right out in front, and Bilger beats him. Shot it right in Bilger's numbers to John Lehman, and he had some room to operate. And here comes Paul French. 3-on-3, and he'll wait and set the floor.
So mentally, Little's got one shot on him. It goes in for a goal. Bilger's got 3 shots on him, and he makes the save. So that can swing things.
Paul French trying to work off a Mike French screen with nothing doing. Shot clock is at 15 as French comes across to Hanley, the lefty. Looking to go over the shoulder, rather to the top. Shot and a save of Mike French. And you don't beat Little high. He's proven that already. John Lehman recovers his own down. Shot and almost beats Bilger over the elbow, but he comes out with it. And look at the balance by Jersey as they quickly have 3 men back. Very few fast break opportunities against the Wave. That one is well wide. Off the stick of Dave Tasker. And the low shot by French, handled by the Waves. Little.
You know, Larry, as you watch Little, and I've really been keying on him now in this quarter, he goes to his knees before the ball ever is released from any of the shooters. He goes to his knees. He's a tall person, so he still gets up, but big bounces are going to hurt him a lot. And if you can get him down, or even put your stick down low and then shooting high is going to hurt him.
Sadler provides the screen. And good man-to-man action. Again, nobody in the box area. All of it around the perimeter. And Philadelphia comes away cleanly. Good speed shown by Dave Tasker, one of the veterans. Sidearm shot, rebound, score! Great rebound goal by Henry Chicharone.
Real good defense at the other end to get the ball free by Henry Chicharone as well. Here we see the shot goes wide. Chicharone with a great left-handed catch and puts it right back in off the boards.
He has so much room to shoot at. I guess you just want to make sure you don't go for a corner. You have the whole net and puts it by him.
And what we said was that Little goes to his knees. So if there's a rebound, you're going to be able to put it away because he's down and he's not getting the 260 pounds up too quickly.
And he's being yanked right now. Len Little, the goaltender. Wait a second. They're about to face off, and Little's still on the floor. Now he comes off, and Bruce Winan comes in out of Washington College. Bruce Winan, who had played the lion's share of minutes. It's a 9-7 game. Washington quickly comes back, and John Brandt, a lovely intercept. 4 unanswered Wings goals against the Washington Wave. And early in period number 3, this one's a contest once again. Remember, it was 6-1 Wave after 1 period. Here's the clear out for Grant. He'll spin. Lose possession, doesn't know it. And a nice move by Gold. And up at the other end, it's Jim DeCarli. The bounce pass back to Huffman, whose shot is handled by Bilger. And a solid body check. Bilger comes out with it. Oh, in the open floor, nice hit by Matt McGeady, and the loose scrub leaves Bilger in possession.
And immediately there's Tucker. There's Tucker cleaning somebody else out of the pile.
Bruce Winan, a younger goaltender. What do we know about Bruce?
Oh, Bruce has done a great job for them. It was a surprise, as you had mentioned earlier, that Little got the start tonight. He's done a nice job for him through the year. I have never seen him play before, so this is my first night with him.
From Washington College. Good motion and a shot. The bouncer goes wide off Ciccaroni's stick, and into the stands it goes. And with the shot wide, that'll be a free play for the Washington Wave. And a line change. They'll come out with their second line: Gold, Lehman, Gold, Urso, and Forrester. That's John Lehman, one of the league's premier players already, after just a handful of games. Picked up by Mark Gold. Works around a Lehman screen. In front, Lehman. Shot off the pipe. Bilger may have gotten a piece of it, but I think it caught the far pipe. Bilger got a piece first.
I think Bilger got a piece, and I think maybe Bilger and Little trade uniforms at halftime here. Bilger, the reason they're, I mean, just unbelievable right now.
That's Hanley. Rebound is shot high by Manley. And a crease violation. Washington ball with Lehman, bringing it slowly through center.
And we remind our viewers that crease that circles the goal. The offensive player cannot step in it with the ball or without the ball. You've got to stay out of there.
Nice little exchange with a block off by Tucker. Here they come 3-on-1. Great back-checking speed shown by Gold. It's French, stops, goes low, and a nice job by Wyden to pull it down. And the quick transition pass off the back of Mike French. Orso can drop it back only to Mike Gold and take some punishment. With 8:45 remaining in the third period, 9-7.
I tell you, it's too bad that we can't just keep an isolated camera on Tucker and count how many times he comes into contact with opposing players. He's stopping them at the substitution bench now and not letting them get their immediate subs on for fast breaks.
There's a pick at the top. Good weak side help, if I can use that basketball term. Backhand shot off the right leg. A thigh save by Bilger on a lovely exchange in front for the Washington Wave. Still scoreless, 7 minutes in to the third period. The Wings have posted 2. That one well wide. But the rebound comes right back out. Scott Growney from Harrington High, Trinity College. Leaves for Jeff Harris, the left-hand shooter. Gets a screen and no place to shoot. Good defensive work. And Bruce Wyden comes out with it. And a nice outlet.
We're seeing good defensive checks at both ends now. Both ends getting good checks in.
And both these coaches like to score off opportunities. And by good defense, you limit the opportunities at the other end and hopefully force some for yourself. And here's a quick change. Coming off, it's Holtzkamp. Going on is Mark Huffman. And again, nobody within the box area except the screen. All the way across to DiCarlo. Good look in front with a sidearm pass, but it's covered. And a three-way hit. No one picks up the ball, though. There's a man alone in front. Huffman sidearms it way wide. And here's a breakaway. All alone. And a great job by Huffman to come back checking and knock it away from Mark Gasico. I'm sorry, make that Dave Tasker as Wyden comes out with it. So it's been scoreless since Wyden checked on about 4 minutes ago. Huffman with the rebound. Has a man behind, throws it over his head, and DeCarly comes out with it.
Tucker with a great defensive play there. Caught the stick just as the guy shot.
Nice one-handed catch, though, by Lindsay. To Huffman. Winds way wide. Might have been looking for the rebound, which is picked up by John Lehman. Steps around, looked like a crease violation, but Bilger beat him, no call. And Al Blau takes a hit, the referee. Length of the floor, Ciccarone. Has some help. Will use Hanley. Right on in with a backhand shot way wide. And Ciccarone drills Gold. And yet here comes John Lehman, number 11. Blind pass to Orso in front. Three-way look. Handling the Gold shot is Bilger. And 9-7 it remains. Working through traffic now is John Conley. A rare shift for John at 5'6", the smallest player in the league. Out of Towson State, he'll check off.
Good up and down play, real good up and down play. We're seeing outstanding goalie work by Kevin Bilger.
Loose ball picked up by Hanley, tries to get rid of it. Gets his own rebound. And now 4 players bang. The extra man belongs to the Wings. Grant drills his man, and now a bit of a scrum on the far side as those players that checked heavily on the far boards wind up doing some hand-to-hand combat.
Both players apart.
And we'll wait and see what kind of penalties may be called. Not the top line players for Philadelphia involved. Paul Denko, one of the extra men. And it looks like Pat Hanley will wind up in the penalty box for Philadelphia. And for Washington, it will be number 32, Kevin Forrester. So it looks as if there'll be coincidental penalties, and the teams will remain at even strength.
Larry, the Saturday issue of the Philadelphia Inquirer, the sports column, had a very interesting article on the box lacrosse and the Eagle box lacrosse, and on Mike French in particular. And it said that on Monday morning when he walks into his office, the coffee is ready, the rubbing cow compound is ready, and the secretaries just look at him and go, why? And he just goes, because it's fun.
He, of course, 33 years of age, now living and working in the Philadelphia area, second in the league in points coming in tonight.
So we'll resume play with a face-off.
So there'll be a face-off down to our right. Again, the teams are playing one man shy, coincidental minors. And, of course, Washington has 6 of their 9 goals with only 4 men on the floor, most of them coming shorthanded, one during coincidental minors. French wondering why right now. There's a man alone at the top, and Tucker will wind and fire it high. Rebound is loose. And a double team block in the corner. Tucker clearing out again, but when he vacates his position, it leaves a 3-on-1. Here's Stefano. For Emin Printup. And that went nowhere, and French has Tucker at the other end. 2-on-1. What a move. Tucker scores. Oh, what a move. A dipsy-do for John Tucker. And it's a 1-goal game.
Pick up your athletic supporter on that one. My God, he left him. Oh.
Tucker does the Pee-wee shuffle to celebrate.
Bake and shake. How is that? And then puts in a great shot. Oh. They don't come better. Look at this camera work, too. What a great replay. The head fake, steps to the right-hand side, over top the left-hand elbow. What a great play by John Tucker.
John Tucker now 6 on the season, second of the game, and that about as athletic and lovely an individual effort as we've seen thus far.
What do you think? You think Tucker's into this game? Here comes the 7th man on the team right here, the crowd. The Spectrum comes alive.
Another nice crowd of the Spectrum, maybe about 12,000, 13,000 for game 2. And it's been 5 unanswered goals by the Philadelphia Wings. The Washington Wave has gone over 10 minutes of the 3rd stanza without notching one by Kevin Bilger. Remember, there's still 4 aside with the coincidental minors. Huffman. There's a lovely drill.
It's called a buddy pass.
In front, the shot by Mark DeSico. And he'll mix it up. The extra players doing their job. Ciccarone.
Taken by Washington. Mark Hoffman.
And out to Neil Bartholomew. Bartholomew we saw during the U.S. Challenge Cup Series back in '85 here at the Spectrum. One-time MVP at Loyola. A lot of Loyola products on the court tonight. Back at the top to Mac McGeady. 2-time Maryland All-American. Tries to work over Ciccarone. Shot clock is now at 20 to Jim DiCarlo. Takes it, screens inside for DiCarlo, who scores.
That's a real nice change of direction. Another nice athletic move. So at one end we get Tucker, at the other we get DiCarlo. You're going to see on the replay, takes him hard to his left, stops, comes back to his right hand. There's a pick in there that helps get him free. And he takes the bounce shot between Bilger's legs. I'll tell you, Bilger has been perfect up to that point, though, in the 3rd period.
Nothing he could do here as the defense did not come over and respond. That's the 7th of the year for Jim DiCarlo. And, of course, the first by New Jersey in the third period by Washington, rather, at the 12:28 mark. They had gone 15 minutes and 2 seconds between goals. The Washington Wave leads the Philadelphia Wings 10-8. And here comes a quick break. And Paul French has a man in front and a score. Just that fast by John Conley. Little John Conley.
Great job by French because he drew the defense, both defensive players toward him, and then he hit Conley, and Conley just put it away. You'll see it so clearly. Here comes the defense toward him. 2 men coming. They leave Conley wide open. He goes the far side of the stick over top the left shoulder of the goalie.
And again, Winan did nothing or little to cut down the angle as he had to play French for the shot. And then Conley had a lot of room far side. Conley is second of the year. French now with 3 assists on the night. And a timeout taken by the Washington Wave. So the Wave and the Wings in a 1-goal contest. 3 minutes, 23 seconds remain in quarter number 3 from the Spectrum. The Washington Wave 10, the Philadelphia Wings 9. Back with more right after this. Larry Rosen with Tony Seaman late quarter number 3. Kevin Bilger giving the Wings a chance to come back from a heavy deficit with some fine goaltending, has yielded only 1 Washington goal in the third period. There, the lovely backhand save off the right side. And really defensively, very good work by the Wings. They are second in the league in goals against average. The Saints of New Jersey are first at about 13 goals per game, and action back underway live.
So we've really woken up the crowd. We have really woken up the crowd here in the Spectrum. They're in it.
There's Gold across to Urso. 4 guys chasing the ball, though, for Philadelphia. Got to be somebody open. And a nice block off on the pass. And Gold, that's Joe Gold, the brother of Mark Gold, number 16, comes out with it. Shot clock inside 20.
The Beardmore philosophy in the box game. Keep the no man's land clear and then run your picks with the man who's got the ball. They pick for the man with the ball. And then he becomes a feeder as he gets by that first pick. And look.
Steal by Conley. And he's got good speed, but Gold will run him down. French is alone. Oh, and he can't handle the pass. And Mark Gold gives it back to his goaltender. And now a timeout. Apparently, a penalty will be called against the Washington Wave.
After the break, he took his stick and he went after the Wings number 5, James Castle.
That's John Lehman in the penalty box.
I think John felt that he was roughed up a little bit when he had the ball, and he went and let Mr. Castle know that he shouldn't do it again. He got caught by the ref, by Al Blau, so he's going to serve 2.
Lehman gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And he, of course, one of the premier players in the league, now with 2 minutes in the box. The general, John Grant, sets the floor for Harris. Rebound in front, barely missed by Henley. And, of course, the Wave has been tremendous, shorthanded, and they break in transition once more.
And Mike French, the Wings' leading scorer, 9 goals, 7 assists, does not have a point tonight.
That's Don Sadler, ragging, nearly 30 seconds off the penalty. And Huffman kind of sachets his way down the left side and loses possession. Notice Tucker almost went after Billy Weicker as Weicker went and tripped somebody. No penalty, so John Tucker will do it for him. And back to the power play unit with the general, John Grant, at the top. And an unnecessary mistake by Pat Hanley. And here goes an uncontested Gold. Right on in, scores. What a nice play by Gold. Joe Gold, Deeks, goes low and scores. It's 11-9. Washington Wave. The hat trick now for Joe Gold.
And he just walks away from the crowd. There's nothing in the world that replaces basic speed. And then he is a fine shooter. Deeks high, goes off to the offside again with the shot. Just explodes away from the pack. Watch him deke high, gets the goalie up in the air, and then comes down past his offside stick.
And how many shorthanded goals? 6 shorthanded goals tonight for the Washington Wave. And that making all the difference in the world.
And just a really, as you said, Larry, when he shot it, Pat Hanley just with a foolish play. They come down, they set up, they don't make a pass. He stands there and shoots the ball into the defenseman. And there's Gold breaking down the length of the court.
And here comes a call apparently against Philadelphia. And the door opens for either Tucker or Lehman. It's Tucker. And Tucker exchanging some words with John Lehman as he heads for the box.
One thing that Coach Huntley does not want to see happen now is a momentum switch. He's got the momentum coming back. I mean, we saw from 3 minutes left in the second period, 5 goals down, and now it's back within 1. The Wave comes back and answers. It's 11-9. They don't want to see it now go to 3 or 4. This is a really important play for the man-down team for the Wings.
Well, the clock is running, as is the shot clock, down to 20 right now. And here's Mark Gold. They are each a man short. Gold, dipsy-doos to his left, goes for his brother. Nice anticipation by Philadelphia. And here they come. That's Pat Lehman. Works over Orso, switches hands, scores with a left hand, sidearm, Silver.
Great shot.
And that'll be an even strength goal for Pat Lehman.
We're going to see him here. He drives with his right hand, then switches over to his left, comes hard across and takes a left-handed sidearm shot that goes into the top corner. Watch him, he moves him right, and plants the foot pivot, comes across hard left, has the step, and puts it by into the top right-hand corner of the goal.
So that's a classic goal. The plan of the right leg, the cut left, gets the goalie moving, shifting his feet, then go high to his left side. It's a 1-goal game. Washington Wave 11, Philadelphia Wings 10 in the final 30 seconds of the third quarter.
And that's the kind of goal that you would not see happen in the old-time box league with the Canadians and with a John Grant, because you wouldn't switch hands and be able to have that dexterity.
The quick response by Lehman, who's now out of the box.
And a great save by Bilger.
Back at the top, now with 9, 8 or so. One final hop, skip, no shot. Gold with 3, 2. Don't they know? They do not. The clock expires on the Washington Wave. So, 3 quarters are complete. The Philadelphia Wings have come back, made a contest of it. It's Washington Waves 11, Philadelphia Wings 10. The fourth quarter of play begins when we return. For the fourth quarter, here's the proximity goal late in quarter number 3 from Pat Lehman.
Just drives across, real hard, left-handed shot, high corner.
And back to action we go. 3 seconds in to quarter number 4. The Washington Wave. They've led from start to finish. Now with just a 1-goal margin. On the power play, remember, is Tucker serving that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Orso getting worked over at the top. Lehman, good screen of the shot off the chest. Oh, a nice catch by Lehman to keep the play alive. But it's broken down nicely by Chicharone, and it's Bilger who comes out with it. Bad giveaway in their own end. And some unusual forechecking on the power play. The bounce shot is wide. And a nice move by Chicharone as Tucker coming out of the box. Where'd he come from? Off the pipe by Tucker as he goes far side. Came out of the box, huh?
Yes, he did. And right away, Chicharone spots him, gives him the good pass, and the goalie's best friend, the pipe, makes the save for him.
And back at even strength. Mark Gold, who obviously has leadership skills, ordering everybody around on the court, leaves it for Emmett Printup from Syracuse University, a recent graduate, a great collegiate player.
Yes, he certainly was. He certainly gave us all the trouble we could handle for 3 years at the University of Pennsylvania. Eric Emmett played last year for them, and an outstanding attacker.
Gary Hanley. And there is a shot clock violation. And the quick transition, Philadelphia. Second 45-second violation. John Tucker logging a lot of minutes tonight. Tries to thread the needle length of the floor. And it's loose in front. John O'Steppen comes out with it. And here they go 3-on-3. And the quick change as DeCarlo comes on. Steppen never gets away a shot. And back comes Pat Henley.
Chickarone and Tucker with some real good defense. They double-team the man down the middle and come up with the ball. They were playing excellent defense tonight, those two gentlemen.
And Paul French waits for his unit, which of course has his brother Mike,
who is 0-0 tonight. No point for Mike French. That's unusual for him in a lacrosse game.
And Gary Henley's been checking him most of the evening. French tries to spin. The backhand, got some mustard on it, and his own rebound is fired wide. Paul comes out with it. He's alone in front. He scores. There was Paul French. A lovely feed from Pat Henley, and suddenly it's tied.
Let's put them right back in it, and the Spectrum comes alive here on a great shot. Great movement by Paul French. We're going to see it on the replay. Off the board. Studies behind the back. There's Paul French all alone, and he puts it by.
Got to be a defensive breakdown of some variety for him to be that alone, that close to the goaltender.
Well, you know, as a defenseman, you tend to follow the ball, and it goes into the corner. You lose sight of your man. They pick it up, and then you go, my God, where is he? And the man with the ball found him before the defenseman got to him.
That is a hat trick now tonight for Paul French. He has 8 on the season, has attempted the most shots on the squad, coming in with 25. And they're cheering at the Eagle's Eye Lacrosse Club in suburban Philadelphia, where Paul is a member. And we're tied at 11. Chickarone with a full head of steam. As French tries to go low by the left foot. And it's picked up by Scott Growney. Another over-the-shoulder pass for J.R. Castle. As we reach the 12-minute mark, that shot's wide and heading for row 9. It'll be a clean in for the Wave. And here they come on the fly.
Good defense that time. They got back very strongly, the Wings did. The Wings are in the game now. They know it. First time tied tonight since the opening face-off.
And that's Matt McGeady. Gets a screen, goes back to him. Same set play they've used so often tonight.
The old pick and go.
DeCarlo was the receiver, and he fired it wide.
That's right, Larry. That's their philosophy. Go pick for the man with the ball, and then as soon as you set the pick, roll to the goal. It's the oldest basketball play there is. It works so well.
Shot clock in single digits. DeCarlo goes low, builds your handles, and his outlet is short, and a new shot clock. Tucker length of the floor for Pat Lehman. The trailer is Hanley. The shot is wide. Pat Hanley has a man breaking. John Conley has to retreat back to the red line and come up with it. Fires it off the elbow. A lot of mustard on that one. Plenty of velocity for the little guy. But it's handled by Bruce Winan.
Winan with a real nice elbow save. Boy, that'll feel good tomorrow morning.
And it did indeed go up the goaltender, and thus the face-off to our left.
10,088.
And the official attendance tonight, 10,088. So Philadelphia now has the first and second largest crowds in the Eagle League with 14,100 plus a couple of weeks ago. Now 10,088 tonight. Long pass will be easily intercepted by Philadelphia. That's Paul Danko. Another rare shift for Danko from North Carolina. Off the board, the little guy, John Conley, has some of the first and second unit players getting a chance to sit down. Danko to Conley, working the perimeter, and the screen is set for Harris inside. Can't get it to him. So Danko uses 2 hits, and now boom, Winan just stepped out of the way of that hit. And the loose ball recovered by Jeffrey Harris right at the center line. To John Grant, who's stuck on the right wing. The isolation.
I can't think of 2 times that we've seen John on the floor tonight.
Regular. Shoulder. This Payne's over the shoulder box. Shot is wide. Danko the rebound. Grant is there. He scores. John Grant on the third effort gets it done, and the Philadelphia Wings have taken the lead.
John Grant says to Bruce Winan, do a little dance here. There's about 35 fakes here. This is great. Here's the shot. Here comes the rebound to John. 1, 2, 3, and then he puts it away. He has Winan doing a dance. Watch him out front here. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then he puts away on the inside pipe.
Grant, the 36-year-old out of Peterborough, Ontario, scores his 4th of the season. Of course, he's not a great pure shooter.
No, he's not, but boy, he sure has got the moves, and if he's in close like that, the goalie's at his mercy.
And from the time Washington led 9-3 late in the second quarter, the Wave has been outscored 9-2. Make it 10-2 as J.R. Castle breaks down the left side. I'm sorry, make that Manley. Number 8, Greg Manley. So quickly off the face-off, it's a 2-goal Philadelphia lead.
Off the face-off, he picks it up, beats him for the ground ball, comes in with his left hand, and he puts it off the hip. A great shot. He has room. He turned to take a little look to see if anybody was close behind him. He had plenty of room to put it away. And a big move. And now, you know, you kind of wonder a little bit. Coach Beardmore say to himself, did I take Little out of the game too soon and put Winan in? That's the question. Why did he take him out? We felt that Winan has been the stronger of the 2 goalies, although Little had an unbelievable first half. But he had 2 goals go on him, in on him early on only 3 shots, and Beardmore said, get him out.
It was 9-7 when the move was made with the Wave on top. And John Tucker mixing it up and showing awesome speed up the far boards around 2 men. Here he comes. Oh, nice job by Winan to beat his man Chicharone. And Tucker once out, needs a breather, and French comes on.
I tell you, Tucker took 3 slashes, 2 to his hips, 1 to each hip, and then 1 to the middle of his back, but no call. But made a great pass, and they got a great shot out of it.
Ye shall give and ye shall receive is John Tucker's motto tonight. And the shot clock quickly down to 20. And looking over for instructions from the bench is Matt McGeady.
I think they're looking for 1 more man, and there he comes.
There he comes, O'Connor, Patty O'Connor, out of Delaware. The last man on it. Suddenly the shot clock's at 7. So not much in the way of a set offense for Washington.
It's just amazing how the game has turned around. It's been completely 2 different kinds of halves. In the first half, it was the Wave taking all the inside, the good selection shots. And in the second half, it's the Wings doing that. So Dave Huntley, what a halftime talk he must have given this team.
Well, really, they've given up no cheapies. They've been back well on defense. And a score! That's Paul French, who had a little bit of room. Short side by the elbow of Winan. Snuck it through. And it's 14-11 Philadelphia.
Here's Paul French. He's in it. They're laying off him. Michael kind of makes a screen, and then Paul just lets it fire, and it goes right between the legs of Winan. There he's standing. Good, hard, overhand shot right between the legs.
Might have caught the goaltender unaware. A little bit by surprise, as Paul now has 9 this season. 4 on the night, so both French brothers have 9 goals. They have 18 total. The Wings have 58, so not a bad percentage to have 18 of the 58 within the family. And Paul French has given Philadelphia a 14-11 lead. Once again, this game was once a 9-3 Wave lead.
Yeah, we warned everybody not to leave at the end of that first quarter, and the ones who didn't are certainly happy. What a great comeback by the Wings.
Here's a loose ball stolen by McGeady. It's a 2-on-2. DeCarli and McGeady. McGeady uses DeCarli as a screen. Switches hands, nowhere to go, and Tucker rubs his man out. Again, McGeady will go across the box, knocked loose, and Tucker again knocks his man out. 3-on-1. Good save. Rebound is almost put in by Mark Nasico, who had the 3rd shot at it. But John Tucker really cleaning out his own zone. And he's got my star of the game ballot. His name's written all over it.
Yeah, he's just he gives you everything he's got, and he does it on both ends, offensively, defensively. He's the Pony Express. He gets the ball up and down the floor for you. He's thrown some great long passes tonight. And as Ciccarone said, I love having him on my team.
6:50 and counting. Easy shot. No set offense again for Washington. And here's Tucker. He'll slow it down with the 3-goal lead. Says, I'll handle.
And you know, Larry, right along with John Tucker, Kevin Bilger, what a job he's done in the second half. We said it was so important at the beginning of that third quarter for the Wings to get back in the game. They knocked it down to a 9-5 ball game, and then to keep the momentum, that was important. And boy, Bilger came up 3 times big in that third quarter, and now he's just continued that. Just an awesome job. 2 goals he's given up now.
Tucker, quick pass to Ciccarone. Rebound swept off nicely by Bill Weicker of Washington. And the quick transition, and who's on it? John Tucker. As we reach the 6-minute mark, and Tucker says, no problem, I'll handle. Here I come. Me and you, Frank Urso, and acknowledges the crowd.
And there goes that great shake and bake.
Harris might have been a crease ball, and here's a breakaway. And a whistle sounds, and they're going to call, I think, the crease violation. No, it's a penalty against Washington. The cross-check is what left J.R. Castle in the crease.
Right, you can cross-check, but the momentum, he caught him up in the air, and he pushed him violently into the crease.
And that'll be Frank Urso heading into the box. Urso was the man undressed previously by Tucker, and here it is.
We watch the replay now. We see great pass inside, and then there's the push into the crease. He's up in the air. The man has to have contact on the floor in order to give him the cross-check from behind, and he did not have contact with the floor, therefore it's a 2-minute minor.
Well, Urso might have reason to be upset because that was Bill Weicker, number 40, that got that bump, unless it was another bump a little bit later on. But here's the General Grant at the top. Power play has been very ineffective this evening. One here might about wrap it up. Nice save by Winan. Off the quick shot from Hanley. And Washington has scored 6 shorthanded goals. French drills this man twice, shakes the ball free. Kicked that by Huffman. Good job by Huffman. Again, Huffman's still on it. One of the slowest 360s you'll ever see, but he gets rid of it. Great job by Huffman.
A great job there. Just a lot of intestinal fortitude. He kept going. He took a lot of hits. It was him against 3 Wings the whole way through. But once again, the Wings come out. That's not a bad thing for the Wings because they've kept control of the ball and there's no score against them, and they got a 3-goal lead. I was just going to say to you that I wouldn't be surprised to see Huntley tell them to slow it down and go for the perfect shot. Really spread it out. Let the Wave try to make the big error here. They need the ball.
Grant walks in. The rebound is nicely handled by Winan. Another rebound for Manley. Oh, and looks like a penalty is going to be called. No, a crease violation. As French says he was nailed by Weicker into the goaltender. And the goaltender, Bruce Winan, flat on his face just to the right of his goal.
We either have one of the Academy Award here by Winan, or he really is hurt. He went down like a wall went down.
And we get some first aid from behind the net. Here's the action in front. French was indeed hammered, so you can't blame French, and I can't imagine Winan will get the crowd's wrath.
I'll tell you, that's he might be right up there with Paul Newman for the Academy Awards this year. That's tough.
Greg Louganos at 2.9 degree of difficulty as Winan needs the breather. Is that Glenn Little that's back out there? That is indeed Glenn Little, number 33. They stuck him back in there on us. And it's Little showing the Academy Award performance, trying to catch his breath.
So after the goal that put the Wings 2 goals ahead, they made a goalie change again. So Coach Beardmore has used his 2 goalies now.
And this gives the Wings and Wave players, the better players, a chance to catch a breather with only 4:24 remaining.
Not a bad idea by Little when you really think about it. He sees that the Wings man is in the crease. You got to get the referee's attention that he's there, so he takes the dive, and immediately the ref sees French, and French gets the call of interference. It's Wave ball.
And the whole thing set up by Kevin Forrester of Washington, nailing French into the crease area. And we're back. Still shorthanded, though, is Washington.
We'll see the double team now, as Tucker will be the man in.
Goal just avoids a very difficult spot where the glass meets the boards. Almost got himself drilled. Chicharone checking. Good line pass. The shot is off the pipe. They wanted a goal. It looked like it hit hard off the pipe. May have stuck underneath. And screaming for a goal is Jimmy Hudskap, who took the shot. But goal light did not come on. And they are regular NHL goal judges who we see routinely when the Flyers are here at the Spectrum. And the light did not come on. Tucker loses his footing, but smartly gets it to French.
Let's call that old turf snake. Comes out there. There's
shot to score, J.R. Castle.
Great move by Castle.
Castle with some fine individual skills. And funny how the call by Tucker kind of threw the whole thing out of kilter and left the man wide open.
It is. He beats his man one-on-one, as you'll see, and you won't see anybody slide. Nobody comes to help out, and there he is on the goalie. He puts a nice shot past the hip of Little. And boy, it's a different Little than we saw in the first half.
Cooled off considerably.
Well, he sure has.
And back at even strength again. It is a 12-2 run for Philadelphia since the Wave led 9-3 late in the second quarter. And what's keyed the run?
Well, I think one of the things is I think that the Wings have seen that the Wave is not sliding well on the...
Well, we'll pick that up when we come right back. The Wave has taken a timeout, a break in the action. 3:19 remains in this one. Philadelphia 15, Washington 11. More Wings lacrosse in just a moment. Tony Seaman here at the Spectrum. Remember, the final Wings home regular season game will be on the 21st of February against the Baltimore Thunder. And the Wings have come from out of nowhere to build a 4-goal lead, obviously, and by far their biggest lead of the night in the final 3.5 minutes.
I think what's really been noticeable, Larry, here in the second half is that the Wings have discovered that the Wave does not back up well with the second and third defensive player, and that if you can beat their first player and spread it out, their slide is very poor to get over there and help out. And they've been able to get a lot better shot selection, and that's really brought them back into this ball game.
And that reaches the bench of the Saints. Off Philadelphia, Scott Groney out of Harriton High. And a loose ball picked up easily. There's a breaker. If they can see Castle, he's still ahead of the pack. And Scott Groney, the smallest guy out there, can't find him. And instead of making the foolish pass, he'll chew up some clock with 2:50 and counting.
You know, you get spoiled. You watch these players with their great skills with these sticks, and you don't realize how everybody has to work on theirs, not only to practice, but you have to have your stick so that it's throwing the way you want it to throw and shoot the way you want it to shoot.
Oh, there's a backhand shot by Lehman, which goes wide. And now there are 5 players behind the net. And a fresh 45 for Philadelphia as Castle is at the top. And Hundley says, pull it on out.
James Castle has had an excellent fourth quarter here for the Wings. Very, very good. Hometown boy is really coming through.
Castle gets a screen, and they can't come back in the Wave without possession. And we are now inside 2 minutes. Nice fake. Lehman shot is just wide, and here they come. And this is a key trip, obviously, for Washington. It looks like Little coming out of his net with 1:50 remaining. No, he stops at the top of the box, and he'll wait for a clearer setup. Here's Joe Gold.
Last week, Jersey brought their goalie out with more than 6 minutes left in the game and tried to go with that extra attacker. Let's see what Buddy Beardmore's philosophy is going to be here.
Oh, the loose ball can't be scooped up by Manley. Now he's got it. Tucker's alone. Seal it up, John. No, just wide with 1:25 remaining. Could have been a nice crowning moment for John Tucker, who's had an outstanding night, start to finish, for Philadelphia. He was there when they were trailing, and he's helped them take the lead. Gold along the floor. The short hop shot is wide with 1:10 remaining. There's Lindsay at the top.
They pulled the goalie. They now have 6 against 5.
And what do you try to do with that extra man?
Well, you probably use him as a picker. Go out, or there he is.
Mark Gold.
What they did with him was they put him behind the goal, let everybody else in front, and then he came around and received the pass.
With 57 seconds remaining, this Mark Gold goal.
And there he comes from behind, gets it right in the middle. Everybody's playing man-to-man, so nobody has him.
And a great reverse, nice reverse pivot by Gold, who accepts and fires.
Right, and a very nice shot.
His second of the game for Mark Gold, his 6th of the season, and 57 seconds remain.
And last week against the Saints, their philosophy was to use the 6th man as a picker on the guy who had the ball and let him go. And Beardmore's philosophy with the wave is to bring the man from behind, where no one knows that he's there, and hit him with the open pass.
Ciccarone will drill Little, so that may catch him out of position. Big Little trying to get off the floor in a hurry for the extra attacker. Weicker has a man in front, but the pass is too low for him. DiCarlo, the short hop shot. Weicker rebound. And Bilger holds his ground, and then he's drilled, and John Tucker will not take that, and we've got fisticuffs. Our first show of this type of temper involving Weicker and Dennis Townsend, I believe. It's either Townsend or Harris, 18 or 19. Weicker out of Virginia University. And here's how it started in front. It started with Tucker nailing someone into the goalkeeper.
And then Forty pushed him off, and then they went at it.
Well, that's Tom Singleton getting in the fight. I'm sorry. From Loyola, who has not scored. It may have been his first shift of the night. He made it one to remember as he took on a man much bigger, considerably larger in Bill Weicker, and wound up on the bottom of the pile.
And of course, first person in, Al Blau, referee, separates him.
And Paul French has been named player of the game by the assembled media. Again, our choice, mine anyway, would have been John Tucker, but I guess they usually go for the goal scorers, so we've been wrong twice, or at least I have.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of a John Tucker fan all the time. I also think that Kevin Bilger has had a great deal to bring back this comeback in the second half. When you give up 3 goals in a half, you've done an outstanding job. And as I said, in that third quarter, first 3 minutes, he was just super.
And a timeout taken by Washington's Wade.
Funny, just an interesting story. I asked a couple of the Maryland players, specifically Frank Urso, if Coach Beardmore was any different now, 10 years later in the box as a coach, as he was on the field at the University of Maryland back in 1973 and 75 when they won the national championship. Frank Urso said, no way, he's the same man, intense, works hard, and wants to win more than anybody else on this team.
Of course, he coached Urso, who has a remarkable collegiate record for himself, which obviously can't be broken, can only be tied.
Right. 4-time All-American, all 4 years, and he was the first ever to be named to the first team All-American for all 4 years. Just an outstanding player. I first saw him ever play as an 8th grader up in Long Island, and I'll tell you, he was awful good right then.
My goodness, you're dating yourself on these telecasts.
They don't put the camera on me, you know. I'm a lot younger voice than I am in person.
And now to our right, Vinny Russo, one of the officials, Still trying to clarify the penalty situation. Looks like there'll be coincidental fighting majors.
You see the physical abuse that these players take as they go up and down for 60 minutes. And then the other thing to realize is that John Lehman today just played a field lacrosse game this afternoon.
Wow.
For the Maryland Lacrosse Club against Johns Hopkins. A week from today, next Saturday, out of Villanova University, there's going to be 3 club teams playing 3 college teams. In fact, the University of Pennsylvania is going to play the Long Island Lacrosse Club. And we're going to see a majority of the box players all there playing field lacrosse. So it's just amazing how much these guys love the game.
Again, 20 seconds remaining. And here comes what looks like a 4-on-2. To the right side for the Huffman shot. No, overhand shot stopped off DeCarlo by Bilger. And the wave has washed ashore for the final time. In front, a shot. Bilger again the save, building on his credentials for star of the game. 3, 2, 1. It's over. The Philadelphia Wings will take another victory lap here at the Spectrum as they defeat the Washington Wave by a final score of 15-12. They run their record to 2-2. They've won both their home games, lost twice on the road. The Wave now 1-3. The final score: Philadelphia Wings 15, the Washington Wave 12. Stay tuned for post-game highlights, analysis, and a preview of our next telecast, all coming up right after this.